So I remember a time when I had to sleep in my car. I was homeless, ain't really have too many places to go. And before y'all say smooch, this, that, and third, my girl ain't have. She was in the process of trying to get her shit together too. So we both couldn't be at the same place at the same time because there would have been too many people. So I remember experiencing that, and when I say I was like at the lowest of the lowest that I could possibly, I didn't even know I could be that low. Okay, and I remember that I Deserve It All. That's Ball Greasy, Mike Smith, and I forgot his name, but this song I Deserve It All. That song was out. And when I say I listened to that song over and over and over and over again, that's why I always say real music is timeless, because it don't even matter whether I'm not going through what I was going through back then, but I still will listen to that song because that's one of the songs that helped me through and what it was that I was going through at that moment of time. Music is timeless. So even if your music ain't hitting on nothing, or nobody ain't not hitting on nothing, but nobody ain't gravitating towards your music, that doesn't mean you're not making good music. That some of y'all, I'm talking about for the people who is making good music. That don't mean you're not making good music. That just means right now it's not the time for your music, and that's just what it is. Music is timeless, forever and always. So and then the rest of Sean was out at that time. He was hot. He back to back to back. So it was like a lot of music I listened to was like motivation to keep going, keep going. Don't give up. Shit gonna be hard. It's gonna be like that, but you just gotta keep going. Be resilient. Like just keep going, keep going, keep going. Life gonna keep lifing, but you just gotta keep going, keep going. So shout out to y'all. But I was just like, the people who I thought was like click tight, boom, bam, like kicked me when I was down. I mean, my own people, like, you knew me from kick, boop, boop, kick. And I was like, wow, like it really made me look at everybody differently. And I didn't expect nothing from nobody. I didn't ask for no handout. I ain't asked to lay in your house for free. No, none of that. But it just was like, dang, when I would, help out. Like, you feel me? But then now it's my turn to be on the opposite side of it, and everybody like, well, what you gonna do? I'm like, damn, that's crazy. So it made me like, I don't really you cool, you straight, but from over there, like I already know what time it is, so it ain't really nothing too much that we need to really talk about. And I didn't, like I said, I didn't expect a handout from them people or nothing like that, but I did expect for them to be more helpful than what it was that they was, right? So as opposed to being, I was uncomfortable anyway. So you have to be uncomfortable in order for you to be comfortable. So I wasn't able to go to certain places because people was already there, or that person wasn't. Maybe I had already lived with them before and they went left or whatever the case is. So I had to figure out what it was I was gonna do. And you have to make a tough decision in those situations when it comes down to, it's just me that's homeless. I got kids, right? So I wasn't, me personally, I'm like, my pride ain't big enough to where I'm about to have my kids going through that with me. That's just what it is. And I know a lot of parents are going to be like, my kids, I'm not sending my kids off. My kids going to be with me through all of this, da-da-da-da, blah, 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 da-da-da. But in my case, in my situation, how I felt was, I will be better for y'all. I need 6 months. Like right now, I can't even begin to focus on nothing else besides trying to get shit right. You get what I'm saying? So I chose to send my kids with my mama at that moment of time. And that's just what it was. So 6 months, and I went, slept in my car some of the times. I went to my sister's house, took a shower or whatever, and most people be like, well, why you ain't just stay there? So it was like, it's just, you can't depend on nobody to be who it is that you would be for them. if they was in that situation, if that makes sense. And that's why I always tell, and I always say, and I say this to my kids, and I tell this to any woman who asks or don't ask me for my opinion. Do not deal with no man that's not able or that's not trying to bring something to y'all household for y'all to not be going through whatever it is that y'all going through. If he's trying, then he's trying. He's trying, you trying, y'all trying. That's just what it is. Okay, cool. Y'all trying. But if you trying and he doing bare minimum, or he can't seem to it's like he not even worried about the 3-day notice on the door, the 7-day notice on the door. He ain't even worried about that. But you are, because you got to make these tough decisions, because at the end of the day, it's all going to fall back on you, right? So you should always, if you come to a point to where you in a situation and the man, whoever you dealing with at that moment of time, just like, I mean, I'm doing the best I can, but... So you mean to tell me for a whole 30 days you knew that rent was going to be due again, and you just was like, I'm out here busting my ass at work, doing extra hours and doing this and doing that, and for 30 days you couldn't manage to come up with nothing? And what the fuck is you doing? At this point, what are you doing? So you see that kind of pattern, sweetheart, go ahead and exit left, because like my grandma told me, you could go ahead and be getting evicted by your damn self. Sweetheart, you can do bad by yourself. I know that's cliche to say, but you can. And that ain't to say that a man is trying and y'all still doing bad. No, that ain't that situation. But in certain situations, like I said, sweetheart, you gotta weigh out because for me, it was like, I just was like, what the fuck? Like, I just couldn't believe it. And it came down to the realization of it was one or two options. I was gonna have an eviction, or I was gonna have a repo. And that's what it was. I wasn't gonna be able to do moi, not us, not him, not us, me. And that's why I be like how I be, because it's like you have to have your own money, period, point blank. It don't matter if he pay all the bills, but if something happens, you gotta be able to pick up. And that's where I am, and that's just what it is. So, it was either I was going to get the eviction or I was going to get the repo. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, weighing it out. And from what I understood and from what I know, it's hard as hell to get an apartment or anything if you got an eviction. Okay? I can go get another car. My interest rate going to be high as hell, but I can go get another car. Having an eviction, I was like, friend, no, I ain't gonna be able to do that. I'm gonna opt for the what's in it? Of course, I tried to figure out what I could to avoid it happening, but you working at a job paying $14, $15 an hour. You got this, your livelihood. You was at the time you was working a good job or whatever. Your income was what it was, and somehow, on the way, that job ended and, you had to whatever. So you working at these jobs, 2 jobs at a time, and you still not making enough money to do what it is that you need to do. And especially if it's another person there with you. And that's why, like, when we be having these tough conversations in my relationship, like, I get it, friend. Like, I get it. I'm not even sitting here acting like I don't understand, because I've been there before. So... yes, I had to choose between either one or two. So of course I chose the repo, because I could go get me another house. That's nothing. It's just a repo. It is what it is. Like, of course it drug down my credit. Of course it hindered me from being able to get credit cards and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, I chose a roof over my head over a car, because like I said, you can go get a car with 2-3 repos, you still can go get a car. Somebody give you a car. Having an eviction in your background, baby, it's hard as hell to try to get somewhere to stay. So after that situation, and I had to do what I had to do, send my kids off or whatever, and Smooches was like, she hadn't got her place or whatever, and then she wasn't really at her house. She was wherever she was at, so she wasn't really at her house. So she was like, just stay at my house. I think The lease was, I don't know. I don't really remember if her lease was about to be. I don't think her lease was about to be up, but she was like, you 6 months. 6 months, stay at my place. You ain't got to worry about paying nothing. After 6 months, you just got to pay the light bill. That was the agreement. That's it. That's all. You don't get no realer than that, okay? The little sister stepped up and was being the big sister to the big sister. You get what I'm saying? Like, of course, we done been there for each other and more. I done been there for smooches and more than y'all can imagine. But for her to, for me, I was like, didn't expect it. Did not expect it. I was blown away at the fact that she hadn't said that. Didn't ask for nothing or none of that, because whatever she had already going on was already going on before I got there. And for her to say, oh, you have to pay half of my rent or this, that, and third, and you know that you feel what I'm saying? So that was a lot of understanding on her behalf, and I will forever be grateful. Like, forever. You get what I'm saying? Because that restart, not many of us get a chance to have a restart. That 6-month restart really propelled my life. Like, it really helped me, and we don't be having it in life. You don't get a chance to restart. You don't get a chance for nobody to be like, oh, well, just stay here. If they do start off like, just stay here and don't worry about paying no rent, this, that, and third, just get yourself together. And then somehow, some way, now they come and ask you for light bill money. Then they come and ask for this. Then they come and hell, if I'm paying half of your $2,000 rent, it's gonna take me longer to save up so I could get the fuck on about my business. But I was grateful for that, and that really helped me go to the next level. You know, got my car and apartment and kids and stuff like that. But it was hard. It was really hard. It was fucking hard. And it was like, what was even harder was the fact that it was somebody else that was right there with me and was watching me lose everything. And for a minute, Paul, where you at? Oh. And for a minute, I had blamed him. I blamed him for me losing everything. And then once I moved into my new place and got situated, and I had to do a lot of self-reflecting, because I'm like, we can't be together. Me and you, we can't do this. We can't be together. You need to be where you at. I need to be where I'm at. And that's just that. Because I had to work my ass off. I mean, I rode a bike to work. Okay? Let me see. I'm trying to give y'all an example, but some of y'all not from where I'm from, so I can't really it was a ways, okay? It was a ways. And then some days I tried to ride the bus to you know, with the bike, so then I can, because they, in Coral Springs, it's this street, Wilds Road, where the buses don't run down that road, but they run down 441. So you would have to get off on 441 and ride down to Wilds. If you